Hey, Algebra 2 Trig, we're doing 8.5 matrix multiplication. The essential question is, how do I multiply two matrices together? Okay, so right now I have two matrices, right, and I'm going to multiply them. And before you multiply them, you have to make sure you can multiply them. So I'm going to write down the dimensions of the matrices. So this is 2 rows by 3 columns. So 2 rows by 3 columns. Okay? Remember, it's R times C, okay? And then this one is 3 rows by 3 columns. So this one is 3 rows by 3 columns. Okay, you can only multiply the matrices if these two are the same. If these two numbers are the same exact numbers. And since they are, I can multiply them. And the final matrix is the rest of the numbers. So since the number is 2 and 3, the final matrix is going to be 2 by 3. Okay? And then the other thing I have to remember is I need to write it in order. You can't write this 3 by 3 first and the 2 by 3 second. Since this was on the left, I'm going to write 2 by 3 here. And since this is 3 by 3, I'm going to write 3 by 3 on the right. And again, these two numbers have to be the same. Okay, so now that I've established that, I'm going to write my new matrix. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each row by the column. Okay, so I'm going to multiply I'm going to multiply this entire row by this column, and it's going to give me my first number, and add all the numbers. I'm going to add up multiply this row by this column, and that's going to be my next number. I'm going to multiply this row by this column, and that's going to be my third number. Then I'll multiply this row by this column, that's the fourth. This row by this column, that's the fifth. And then this row by this column, and that'll be the sixth. Okay, so the first one is this row by this column, so 1 times negative 2. And then 0 times 1, so I'm going to add it, 0 times 1, and then 3 times negative 1. Okay, so that should give me my first number. Okay, then I'm going to multiply this row by this column, so 1 times 4 plus 0 times 0 plus 3 times 1. And then the last one is this row times this column. So I'm running out of space, but it'll be 1 times 2 plus 0 times 0 times 3 times 1. And I'll close off my matrix. Okay, so this row, 2 times negative 2 plus negative 1 times 1 plus negative 2 times negative 1. And the next one, I'm going to multiply this row by this column. So 2 times 4 plus negative 1 times 0 plus negative 2 times 1 and then the last one's going to be this row times this column, so it'll be 2 times 2 plus negative 1 times 0 plus negative 2 times 1. Okay, so my final answer is, I just have to simplify it. So this will be negative 2 plus 0 plus negative 3, which will give me negative 5. This one will give me 4 plus 0 plus 3, so that's 7. This will give me 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 3, So that will give me 5. And then this one will be -4 plus -1 plus 2. So -4 plus -1 is -5, plus 2 is -3. Okay, this one will give me 8 plus 0 plus -2. So 8 plus -2 is 6. And the last one will be 4 plus 0 plus -2, which is 2. Okay, so just want to verify that my final matrix is 2 by 3, so it was 2 rows by 3 columns. Okay, if you have any questions, write it down. Again, make sure the numbers on the inside are the same, and we'll answer any questions tomorrow.